Hello, Jasmine, Alice, Joseph, right?
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going,
Yes.
Professor?
Right. And Lacey. Okay. How are you, everyone? It's about close to the end of semester now, right? Next week, we are going to have final exam. Then you're done, right? You can go to enjoy summer vacation. So before that, we have to try our best, right? Finish all the homework. I think chapter test. This chapter test is coming. The last one. Let me check your syllabus here. Let's share this one. Okay. Let me open up. It's a review. What you have to do. Erased. And let me do sharing. Share. Share. Okay. So, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we see Canvas.
Yeah, course syllabus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I want to go over what we need to prepare for the next week. This is the syllabus we have for Math 96 and 160. 96, you just need to complete those assignments that you had to watch the video, then do something similar exercise and turn in that one. That's why it's to help you to get some algebra skills. So finish that, no exam, okay? But you need to finish that one, at least you passed your Math 96, right? Then I think there are 7 units to finish. 7 units. You need a video lectures, okay? So by this week, actually by week 12, some people already finished already. Unit 6 video. That was the last one, I think. Do we have one more? Video 7? So the unit 6. Unit 6 video lectures. Unit 5, Unit 6. Yeah, look like I only finished with Unit 6 video. And what you need to focus on is Math 160, because 96 is to help you to pass, to get some algebra skill. Okay, and our goal is to try to pass our Math 160, right? Statistics. So there's more assignments in our Math 160 here that for the left this week. You can see this week we have doesn't look like the same way. Yeah. Oh, this is not current. This is my last spring. Because some student did last spring incomplete. Now she asked me to give her something, some grade. So I was check that one. I should look at our current one. Our current one is this one. No wonder the calendar date are different. So this one is the right one. This is spring 2025. And yeah, it's the right one. Okay. And you know, right? We can join this Math 80. You just go there and enroll it. You don't need to pay any tuition for that. And you can book appointment to meet some instructor. And they are really math faculty. It's not the student tutor. Okay. And if you like to meet in person, you should go. You can go, but you have to go to the Newport Beach, our campus in Newport Beach. But you say it's inconvenient for me to go to Newport Beach, then you can book online. They can go on Zoom with you. So that's one help here, right? Because exam is coming, and maybe when come out more questions, so that's why we have one assistance there available, free tutoring. Then you have another help is from online tutoring, right? On the left-hand side. Oh, they remove it. Okay. But you can go to Math Center. That one is better. Then we have this week. We are in the week of the May 19. Today is already 21, right? So fast. So we need to finish our chapter 13 homework this week, right? And chapter 13, you only need to read the 2 sections and there's some exercise, few exercises for you to complete. Okay. Then you should start practicing the final exam review. And that will help you to prepare for the final exam. And we always offer extra credit for the exam time if you join the review sections, right? So after you take the test 4 by May 29, Thursday, then you should focus on final exam review. Actually, if you finish chapter 13, you can start finish our chapter 13. But chapter 13 is not a part of the test 4. After you submit the test 4, you need to read the chapter 13 and do exercise and practice with our final exam review to prepare for the final exam. So the deadline, it says final review, the deadline is 6 p.m. Actually, I can wait until 7 p.m., but you better do earlier, it's better. If you discover any questions, you can post the questions on the discussion board, right? And let me know, or someone will answer you before me. So we need to prepare for final exam next week by May 30. Okay. And you know, final exam is the final. There's no makeup, no extension anymore. So in case you have to work or something happened to you, you cannot do that day, you can do earlier. Okay. I have several students that needed to go to weddings for their relatives. Then one is taking the exam tonight, and the other person is taking the exam on 28th. You just have to do earlier. Okay. All right. Because after this, we are going to start our summer section, you know, one after the other. So the final exam review should be available on the discussion board already. Should be at the discussions. So you check the discussions. You should see the week 16 final exam review, right? It's so crazy, all the 10 points. So don't miss these 10 points, okay? These 10 points, just like the midterms, is directly adding to your exam score. So that's helping a lot. If your final exam got 100, let's say 150 points, with this 10 point, 140 points, with this 10 points, you are going to have 150 points, okay? Posted on the grade book here. So don't miss your extra credit. Okay? And the extra credit here will allow you to do better because you are going to check your work. You are going to post your work, and you also will check the work posted by other people. So all the solutions are on the board. make it easier for you to do your final exam review. If you know how to solve it, that's fine, right? If you don't, there are some questions, you can check the discussion here. And I saw some people already posted, right? When you look at the final exam review, the last discussion forum at the Math 160 side, you can see we have final review here and the link of the final review. And there's a statistical table. If you need a table, you can click open it, right? But I would suggest you, it's better use a TI-84 calculator or even the TI-83 can help too, okay? TI-83 does not have all the formula inside, but we still can do it. We still can use the TI-83 to help to apply formula easier than without any tools here. So final exam review is ready for you. And this is some comment about the final exam review here. I hope you should read it, okay? Print out a copy of the final review and read this comment here while you are doing the review, because this is some comment I need to remind you. Sometimes your solution from the calculator may not match with our solution key, but that doesn't show you make a mistake. It's just our graphic calculator gives 9 decimals, and the solution key is based on, I think, based on the tables. So statistical table usually round off to the 4 decimal for probability, and for the G-score is 2 decimals. So this is some decimals difference here, but very minor, very small. So you can see some students already post their solutions for one of the review problems. So you have to give the explanation, like this person even show her calculator. So that way you will get 10 points adding to your exam score. Okay. I saw the Lacey's there already, right? Tabitha already did. So far already did, also did. Yeah. Several people already did. So if you have not done yet, you may start tonight to think about, okay? Don't miss these 10 points. Now, our focus really is try to finish our chapter 13. But if you have any questions from chapter 12, right? Linear regression and correlation, this chapter, you really need to use a calculator to help you. Don't try to apply formula. That's even the book didn't suggest to do that. And the book, our textbook, suggests you to use a TI-84. But I know TI-83 still can do it. Okay. So if you read the book, there's instructions how to use a calculator. And I also posted the videos, right, on how to use your TI calculator to get down how to get linear regression, coefficient, the R, or linear regression equation. That equation is important. Then how we plug in to do the prediction. Prediction is easier, but you need to practice, be able to do it, right? Especially during the exam time, it's kind of nerves. We have 16 questions. You want to get done. I think so, 15 questions. So you need to practice with the tool, make sure you have no problem. So now it's your turn. I'd like to hear from you. There's Renita here and Tiara here too. Jenny and Sofa. If you have any questions, please bring up. I will take care of your question first, okay? Such as from chapter 12 or from chapter 13, because we need to get this done so you will be able to focus on your final exam review, practice as much as you can, right? And prepare a page of the note that something you cannot memorize. I don't mind to put that together in one sheet for the paper, okay? But only one sheet allowed only, okay? Just a regular paper size, 8x11 size like this. Front and back, it's okay. And with a TI calculator, TI calculator, this one. So I hope you should prepare for this, right? And you have done the midterm exam. So come to the final exam time, you should be more familiar on what you should prepare. And I don't remember, during the midterm, maybe only one person got the login problem. If you got a login problem, Wi-Fi problem, please quickly call this tutorial support. Now the number I posted on the page there, okay, because they can log in your site and help you to adjust your settings there, make it through, okay. I cannot control anything because only the tutorial support that can help the login problems. All right, so if you have any questions, share your problems, okay? Well, how come everybody's so quiet?
No, I have a question.
Okay, Tiara, good.
Sorry, Sean, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't hear you.
Oh,
I had a question on the final review.
yeah.
The first question, I've tried it multiple different ways.
Oh,
I'm still not getting the same answer as the answer key. Can you
okay.
review that question, please?
Sure. We can open
Thank
this
you.
final exam review. I try to open up now. Okay. Number one, right? So number one is confidence interval problem. Okay. Another one. And round off, what do we have to do? As soon as sample is used to estimate population proportion, P, right? Find the margin of the error. We try to find the error that corresponds to statistic and the confidence level. 95% confidence and sample size is 320 and not the S, I believe it's the S bar, okay, sample mean. S bar, okay. So to do this problem, we have two ways. One way is applying the algebra formula, and the other way you can do with your graphing calculator as well. Okay. Usually I just do my graphing calculator. That way you don't need to plug in the algebra formula at all. Okay. So what I will do, I'm going to maybe copy this problem. Okay. Let me copy this one. And I'm going to the whiteboard. Oh, it's not white. The whiteboard pop out. And I'm going to copy and paste that problem into the whiteboard here. And then I will use a TI-84 calculator to show you. You are having trouble? No. Okay. Okay, so this is the problem we had. Okay. Now how we do this one? first. You use a TI. Do you have a TI 8384, right? Do you?
Yes,
Yeah, 83 or 84?
84.
84, good. So go to the TI 84. Then I'm going to hit the stat, statistic. Stat. And move to stat and move to test. TESTS, go to the test and go down to one proportion, looking for one proportion because we problem mentioned the proportion. So we just go one proportion Z interval, okay? Looking for one proportion G INT. That's what interval. Okay. Then you hit the enter on that one. You will see the screen pop out and asking you what's the X. X is a success number, so it's a 60. That's the problem given here. And also ask you what the sample size N. Oh, for this problem, X is a success number, and the N is a sample size. So sample size is given as 320. So I will give the 320. Okay. We can enter the data on your calculator at the same time. Then go to the C level. We need to give the C level, confidence level. C level. So C level is 95%. You have to type in 0.95. Okay. Then that's it, right? 0.95 on my calculator. Then just go to calculate, right? Calculate. I hit the enter. Hit the enter. So you pop out the one confidence interval, which is a 0.14474, comma, point.
Right, but the first question's asking for the margin of error.
I know. I try to show you. So
Okay.
just
Okay.
wait. I say there's two ways to do it. One way is apply margin error formula from the book. The other way is use your calculator. Okay. So I try to show you the way using the calculator. We start using the formula. So this is the way from the calculator. Find out the confidence interval first. And when you find the confidence interval, you are ready to find your error. You have to understand the confidence interval. Try to show us this information here. The left-hand side, the low bound, it's trying to show P hat. Okay. P hat minus error. Okay. And the P is the proportion, what we try to estimate for the population proportion. And right side, that the larger number, right side this number is the P hat plus margin of the error. Okay. We need to understand the concept so you can apply here. Just take the, so if you take the right side, this number, P hat plus E, this bigger number, subtract out the P hat, you will get the E. Because the P hat plus E, right, is equal to 0.23026, right? Then our P hat on your calculator also show the P hat there. Your P hat is equal 0.1871, 0.1875. Your P hat, you can use the X divided by N, but calculator will do everything for you, so you can just use it. So now you just take the bigger number, subtract this small number. Bigger number, including that E there. So if you take this bigger number, subtract out the P hat, then we give the E, right? The margin of error is just right there. When you take the bigger number, subtract this small number, we give you the E equal 0.23026. 0.026, subtract out this 0.1875. So that's the answer of the marginal errors right there. You don't need a table, anything, critical value, because this is including everything already. 23026 subtract 0.1875. So the difference will be 0.04276. Then we just see how many decimal they want to round. The problem said 4 decimal. And from here, I rounded to 4 decimal. So it should be 0.0428, right? 0.0428. So that's the answer. Did you get this one?
Yes, I get it now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So try to use it this way. This way you don't need to use that formula or anything.
Yeah,
Right.
that was much easier to follow.
Yeah, much easier and makes sense, because a bigger number is including the arrow inside, right? So you just subtract out the p hat, which shows on the calculator as well. Then the remaining part is the arrow, is a 0.23 something. We subtract out. When we subtract, I try to show you the work. We subtract this number, so then we give you, right? Yeah, now look better. Right, make sense, right? Like this, mathematically algebra way. Okay, so you can use this way to do the other. When problem asks you the marginal error, you can always use this. Find the confidence interval, use a bigger number, subtract out the p hat, or subtract out the s bar, in case this apply to the population mean. Okay, good. Yeah. Any other question you have, Tiara?
No, that was all I have so far. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So anyone else? Did you start your final exam review?
Hi, Professor. I have a couple questions.
Sure. Yeah.
So a few of them you corrected in the key, and they're just rounding errors.
Yeah. Sometimes have a rounding error.
So
Yeah.
that's the issue on the final, though, right?
But don't worry about that. I will take care of that.
Okay.
In our final exam, I will make the 2 solutions available.
Okay.
That means whoever use the calculator or use the table, also answer will be accepted.
Okay, perfect. Because when I did number 11 and 12 on the calculator, my numbers were a little different from the answer key.
Oh,
So,
be careful, because like number 11, okay? You need to use a T interval. Did you use that? Don't use a Z, okay?
I might have used the Z interval.
Oh, that's the problem here. You had to use the T interval.
Use a T.
T, yeah, T as a student T.
Okay.
And the reason, because the population standard deviation is not given, okay?
Okay.
So you try to change it to the T interval, should give you the right answer.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, try again. So be careful when you read the problem. The problem did not give you the population standard deviation. There's no population word there. And did not, or the symbol is sigma, right? We need to recognize the symbol here. So if no population standard deviation, which is a sigma, and sigma is from the Greek. Look like some G by some G. Some students write as 0, they make a tail go up, and sigma. It's a sigma. And if no population sigma given, okay, you have to remember, use the T interval. Okay? And when you come to the chapter 9, same thing. If sigma is unknown, we have to use a t-test. Okay? This is the crucial part here between this G and T. And just because population standard deviation is given or not given. Statistics care about this so much. Not given, we don't know the whole population information at all. So we can only estimate by using this spatial interval that we call T interval, T test. Okay. So try to use a T. I think your answer should match now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from someone?
I had a quick question.
Yes, Sean.
For the large data sets you had on some of the homework that you need
Yeah.
to download to the calculator, is that going to be on the final?
No.
Okay.
Because that will take you a lot of time.
Yeah.
We only have 2 hours, right? For 15 questions. Okay, now they'll have you to do the one problem using the 1 hour or 30
That'd
minutes.
be,
That's
that'd be
right.
mean.
Yeah, that's just for exercise practice, because the real world situation we had to type in all those data, right? But that's only good for exercise. For exam, no. Exam will be simple, smaller data.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. For exercise, I would say just work once, okay? Practice once, you know how to do it, then that's it. And so in the future, if you need to apply to the project or apply to your work in the future, you know it works. Important in this course is try to give the concept. We try to learn the concept and use concept application and try to use technology tools. Every year, when I attended the National Statistical Association conference, they always tell the professors, please, when you go back to your classroom, teach your student with some technology. Okay, don't use a traditional way, applying the algebra formula, make a student suffering with the algebra so much, and lose the mind. Our purpose here. Because our purpose is trying to use the statistics to solve the problem, and it's not to make the computation so difficult. And we should just use a tool. Because today our technology so advanced now, even the calculator got all the formula inside, right? And a lot of computer software now is available. You just input the data, they will solve everything for you. We should try to learn some technology. And for our online class, because our students are all the places, okay, someone in a different state, different country, and different city. The best way we just use a calculator, I think, and it's for exam purposes as well. Because the exam you can use a calculator like this, it's okay. And our exam is online, so if I say, yeah, you can go on software, computer software, but the point is our portal exam will not allow you to go to another site. Once we log on to take the exam, we have to stay there to finish the exam. Otherwise, the system automatically will flag you as cheating or something else. That's fine. But if you know how to do a graphing calculator, you can learn how to do the computer software easily, and because about the same. And our calculator TI-84 is like a mini computer. It's very convenient for statistics. Okay, and the only one disadvantage is the data. Like Sean asked me, we have some exercise with a larger set of data. Well, with a larger set of data, we should use computer software, because computer software, you can copy and paste the digital copy data and into the computer software, or you can upload to the computer software with a larger set of data. That's what we will apply when you go to the real world to work. When the company offer you some computer software, you can apply that way. But that's just data entry only, right? But if you know how to use a calculator, you can do, the concept is about the same. Our calculator, just you have to input the data yourself. Okay. It's more for instructional purpose. Okay, any other question you have? Do you know how to do the chapter 12? No problem. The linear correlation and linear regression. Not the chapter 12, you need to input the data carefully because we are using the TI calculator. So for some problem, right, with 15 data pair of the data, maybe take a long time to input the data, not too convenient. But that's just once out of the practice only. Exam time will not ask you so long, so many data like that. More likely is the simple data and concept. How can you find out the linear correlation, or how can you find out the equation of the regression line? That's important, right? Because we need that one to do prediction. Okay. So I would like to see any other question you have, and if not, we can go over the final exam review here, and we can pick up some problem, right?
I didn't want to monopolize the time, but I did have a question on question 8.
Page 8? Okay, sure.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
If nobody else had anything, I got stumped on that one.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Maybe that's the
Thank you.
would be a question of other people too. Yeah, these are kind of real world applications. Okay. So it's about a newspaper article, right? So you can see my screen or not? Can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Ah, I didn't share the screen of the whiteboard, huh? Let me show the whiteboard and come to here. Okay. You know, the whiteboard I have shown some work here. I would like to share with you. So let me see. Let me share again. Share my whiteboard. I show some work here. Yeah. For the problem number 1, right? So if you have camera, you may take a picture. That's a quick way. So you already copied this. Okay. So I can go to the other one. This is show you how to find out the modular error. Okay. You can use your calculator without any algebra formula. You get answer out. Okay. So I'm going to move the stop share this one and go to problem number 8. So, I still need to use the whiteboard. So let me copy this equation from, I'm going to copy from my final exam review. Control C and then bring to the whiteboard. Bring to the whiteboard. Put it here. Control V. All right, so now we can see the problem together. And then I need to share this one. So, share. Let me see, how can I share with you now? No. Okay. Okay, share. Okay. So you should be able to see it, right? Can you see it now? So,
Yes.
so the
Yes.
problem 8, right? Okay. So let's solve together now. And let's see. So this problem says, in theory, the result of the poll in 99 cases out of 100. So that's trying to give us the percentage, 99%. Okay. Should confidence. differ by no more than 5% point. So that no more than 5% point, they try to give us the, I would say, margin of the error. And that's why it's for the margin of the error. I don't know why this one stop here. So they try to ask us find the sample size suggested by this statement here. Okay. So when problem asks you the sample size problem, you need to use this specific problem formula here, because sample size formula is very unique. And unfortunately, our calculator didn't put this formula in. So I think this is one of the formula did not put in. So this is one of the formula you should prepare on your page of the notes. And in your page of the notes. Okay. Well, for the sample size formula for proportion, you need to remember to do this. Sample size equal, right? Parenthesis. And I will put the G. G is critical value. Okay, maybe I put a G. Usually the book will show alpha over 2. That's just significance level divided by 2. Okay. But the alpha, there's no symbol of alpha here. I will just put the A divided by 2 like that. Oh, divided by 2. That's presenting the critical value. So we need a critical value and multiply critical value and divide by margin of the error. Okay. Whole thing go to the square and multiply P. You need to multiply P hat, and multiply by 1 minus P hat, I believe. Okay. That's the formula. Okay. I don't know, have you done the homework exercise with this before? But we should have all the formula together in one place. So that way, by the time you need to really apply it, you can find it. So I will say for this final exam, you need to prepare for this one. Okay. Sample size formula. And sample size formula, I just want to make sure I write it correctly for you. Sample size. For the proportion, you need a critical value divided by margin of the error, and the whole thing go to square power and multiply P hat times the 1 minus P hat. Okay. This formula is P hat is known. You probably told us, yeah, we done a survey here, and the poll we have done before, right? That the P hat, the sample proportion is given 30% or 40% or something, then we can apply there. But we read this statement here, did not say, right? It only say in 99 cases out of the 100 should differ by no more than 5% point either direction. They only state that very general statement. When the statement is so general, without given any prior knowledge at all, what do we have to do? You need to take the P hat sample proportion as 50%. That's the kind of common rule in the real world. Okay, that's why if you look at a book, some book will show you if the P hat is unknown. Okay, they will state like this: if P hat is unknown, Then the formula, you can just simplify as a G is a critical value, okay, divided by margin of the error, okay, whole thing, go to the square power, and you just multiply by 0.25. Some book will show you just multiply 0.25. And now you should know why it's a 0.25, because they just replace this p hat by 0.5. And 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. So 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. That's how the 0.25 came from. Okay. Some book didn't explain this, but that's how we do. So for this problem, it's a general statement, did not specify any prior knowledge about the sample proportion at all. I will use this one, the second one formula. Okay. So I will just apply it. Okay. I'm going to apply. And first, you need to put the critical value, and critical value is based on, remember critical value we introduced last time. Critical value is like a boundary of our confidence interval. Okay, we try to estimate something here, and boundary, we need a bound somewhere. Is 99% we try to do. So critical value of the boundary is 2.575. This kind of number, you can, if you cannot memorize it, you can write down on the sheet of paper. It's fine. Okay, this kind of number we use all the time. For the 99%, we use 2.575. For the 90%, we use 1.645. For the 95%, we use 1.96. 3 common number used all the time. So I will just put the 2.575 because the 90 case out of 100. So it's 99% of the confidence here. Okay. So I will take this critical value divided by marginal error. And marginal error, how can we find it? You have to read the statement carefully. Usually appears here, no more than 5% point, okay? Or they say within 5% point. This is the key words here. No more than something, or within something, or above something, with some number given to you here. That's the marginal error. And be very careful with this one. This one, they say 5% point. So you need to put 0.5, okay, 0.05, 5%. If they say only 5 points, 5 points of the, within 5 points of the error, sometimes they will just put a point without the percent. Then you just plug in a 5. But this one, put the percent here. So you have to be very careful when put some percent, okay. You have to pay attention to this percent and change it to 0.05, right? Because that's trying to imply 5%. And 5% is 5 divided by 100. So that's why it's 0.05. And this is the common mistake on the exam all the time. So you have to be careful with this kind of wordings. So that's why I put it here. I put the 0.05 here. Then I'm going to close. I'm going to close parenthesis. Oh, up here, no, block here. Okay. Oh, okay. So, critical value divided by E and close parenthesis. Then go to the square power. Now the carry the keys means the raise of square power. Okay. And then we multiply, use this star symbol here, and multiply 0.25 because the problem did not specify anything what happened in the past. Then we just assume 50% of the chance happened before. So just put the 0.25. So if you use a calculator now, you should get the right answer. Okay. I'm going to try with my calculator as well. So if you have calculator there, do together 2.575 divided by 0.05 close the parenthesis and raise about square power, then multiply 0.25 and equal. I came out 663.0625. And this is very important that you attended today, okay? I want everybody take a note here. If you come out some number with a decimal behind, you have to be careful to look at the decimal. All these decimal after the decimal point, 0.625. We cannot ignore it. You will say, this is so small. It's a 0.06 something. Even small. We have to count as one sample. Okay. In statistics, you just cannot ignore whatever pop out there with some decimal. We just have to consider as one of the sample. Okay. Because our sample size is the whole thing, whole object, right? One person, one car, one thing. So remember, always you have to round. Write down a big note for yourself, round up, okay, to the next whole number. Very, very important. Today, who asked this question is very good, because this is the common mistake I found the final exam from the last semester. I saw just one student missed all these type of the problem. I think we had 2 questions or 3 questions about the sample size. And that the person just made the mistake with all this. For example, the answer is 664, right? When you round up to the whole number, the next whole number is 664. You got to be that. And that the person always drop the decimal behind. We give 663. It's almost right. Just the final step, rounding error, okay? And, you know, we cannot afford to miss like that. Final exam, each question is more than 10 points, right? 15 points, maybe. So I want you to remember when problem asks you the sample size, always round up to the next whole number. Doesn't matter how small it is. It's a different type of rounding from our pre-algebra rounding. Okay? Our pre-algebra rounding is follow that compared to the 5, right? But not for sample size. Okay? Sample size is whatever decimal there, you have to go up as one sample, one whole sample. Okay? So this is a very good question you asked today. Any other question you have?
Professor, I just want to piggyback on this question. For
Yeah.
you put 2.575, but on the T table it's 2.576. Would either answer be the same? It's just you're still rounding up. It's still 664.
Yeah,
It's okay?
It's
Okay.
okay too. If you use 2.576, it's okay. But I use this 2.575 as a standard.
Okay.
It's a traditional number.
Okay.
And 2.576 is because some people they like to round up using a graphing calculator.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
either one will give you the same answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? We have 5 minutes because I have another class coming too. They come with 6 o'clock. The final exam time, so more questions coming. So this is good. Sample size you need to take care, okay, and be able to do confidence interval for the Z interval, or for the T interval, or for the one proportion interval. Right? We only have 3 types only. Then later you are going to have hypothesis questions, and hypothesis questions again. You need to watch out, is sigma given or not? If sigma is given, go to the G test. If sigma is not given, go to the T test. If they mention something about the proportion, try to test the disease is more than 8% or some percent there. You use proportion test, one proportion, G test. That's for the chapter 9. Yes, I just try to go quickly for what do we have here for the final exam. Because you will cover chapter 8, chapter 9, and you can skip chapter 10. Okay, chapter 10 is 2 proportion and 2 sample. I will not ask you about that. That's more complicated. Then chapter 11 is about the chi-square test, right? GOT test. You need to practice with that. Post the proportion, observe the given proportion number on the first row or the number under the first column. And second column, you have to give the average, right? Average of all the data given to you, put it on the second column. Then you just go to the chi-square GOTV test there. You should be able to run the result for you. If you have TI-84, I believe it's there. You just go to the chi-square GOF test. That's for chapter 11. In chapter 11, there's one more test that you need to know. It's chi-square test, right? When they give you the column data against the row data, column data. That's what we call matrix, like a table. Then you need to go to chi-square test. Okay, you need to practice that. That's way beyond the test. And the last one is chapter 13. And chapter 13 is only about, because if you have more than 2 mean, you have to compare. Then we have to use, you have to compare 3 different means. Are they all the same or they are different? One different than the other. You have to apply the last test we have here on your calculator called ANOVA, right? So you need to practice the last one, ANOVA test. Okay. For some people, maybe it didn't reach the chapter 13 yet, but after the linear regression from the chapter 12, the next chapter is ANOVA test. The ANOVA is not that difficult. Okay, you just need to practice once, input the data under L1, L2, L3, then you can run ANOVA test. And we just read the test. We see what is the F test here. F test is statistic. This is like we used to do for the what is G test statistic or T test statistic. But ANOVA, we're reading from the F test. And we usually use the p-value to give the judgment that we can reject the null hypothesis or not. For all the tests we learn in this course, you can always use the p-value. And p-value is a probability. It's a more practical way, easier way for students, for us to apply. Because only one rule you need to follow up. If the p-value is less than the alpha significance level, right? Then we can reject null hypothesis. Okay. So remember to practice our chapter 13 for ANOVA test. And I believe only will test you how can you input the data to find a result. Or some questions, they may just print out the result from the calculator or from the computer software and post on the questionnaire and just testing your concept. How you read the data, okay? How you read the result from the ANOVA test. So very important that you have to read this test statistic. Test statistic. From
Hey,
F
hey,
test.
Professor.
F
I had a
yeah.
quick question.
Yes.
It doesn't apply to the ANOVA test.
ANOVA test.
No, this doesn't actually apply to that. But I had a question about the extra credit because you said you're applying it directly to the midterm and directly to the final.
Yeah,
I noticed the
midterm we
midterm
have 10
hasn't been
points.
applied yet.
Yeah, and final exam we also have 10-point offer. to apply to your
Uh,
exam score. Yeah.
so have you already applied that? Because it doesn't look like the
No, of course
midterm has
not.
been applied.
You didn't take the final exam yet. A midterm exam I already did. If you got your
Oh,
score 172, that means your original score is 162. But if you join the
uh,
written exam review, you post some solution there, you will get the 10.8 into your original test score.
okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
so that's why don't miss it. Okay.
Mhm.
For those who forgot to do it, they just don't get another 10 points. If they got 162, just stay with 162. But those who post the one solution on the board, they got 172, 10 point more. Same thing, I will apply this to your final exam as well. So today I saw some people already post their review that guaranteed 10 point more for the exam already. So for the final exam, we still have one more meeting next week before the final exam. So it's good that this weekend, try to work out more problems. And if you find that more homework exercise questions or test question, test 4 questions, you can bring to me next time, next Wednesday. And we still can meet. Yeah. So I try to write something important on the whiteboard here for you to see it. Chapter 13 for ANOVA test. And you have to read the test statistics from F equal what, right? And they use the p-value to reject the null hypothesis or not, right? When the p-value is small, we can reject. If p-value is not smaller than the alpha, we cannot, okay? If p-value less than the alpha, that's very important concept there. Apply the p-value for all the hypothesis tests we use in this course here. Okay, and then I saw some people sign off, need to go another class. Okay, good. So if you didn't put any word here, you can put it in. Okay, so that way I could keep the record for us here. Right. So you can just type in chat, all the chat there. Yeah. Just
I messaged you. I couldn't find the Zoom link before class, but I found it obviously. So disregard my message.
Okay, I see. All right. So everybody, you can type in there so I know you are here. Okay. I saw the Jasmine, Joseph, Talita, Sofa, Lacey, Jeannie, and Renita. Yeah, I need some more person, right? Sean, Tiara, and Crystal. Oh, Crystal is from another class. She's waiting.
Yes, I'm here early. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We are about to finish.
Okay, I'm gonna log off. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. I see you next week. So, Crystal, your class will start at 6 o'clock. Yeah, so it's about the time. But if anyone want to stay, you can stay too, together with Crystal.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Crystal.
Okay, so I'm ready to share my screen. Is that okay?
Yeah. Let me take a picture of who are here on this class here. Okay, so I can give them the credit. Now, now you can share the screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Done this one. We were doing a final exam review. Actually, we can do together. Yeah. Your class is about final exam too. Your 8-week class, so you can quick come to.
I know. And I was telling my husband, I'm like, I regret taking it 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
It's a lot of information.
That's right. A lot. But it's okay. You will get done. You will get done.
Okay. I'm good. I sent a request to share.
Yeah. Okay. Please. You can share. I'm going to stop my share so you can share. Okay, now you can share.
Okay.
Stop mine.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I have a lot of files.
That's okay. Mine too. Hopeful.
Okay, so let me see. I screenshot this from the test.
Oh, good, good. You take a first shot here. That's
Yeah,
the best way.
yeah.
Take a
So,
screenshot and then we keep the record.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know where I went wrong in this
Oh, the
p-value.
p-value. Okay,
So,
let's check out what's happened.
so I have
Look like your p-value is double of the correct answer. I think when you use your graphing calculator, right? You have
yes.
to be careful. While you're doing the test here, I think you apply what test you used? G-test or T-test?
Hold on.
Maybe T-test. So let me check.
This is
So let's go to the test. And we go to the G-test. No, T-test. Because the sigma is not given. I don't see anywhere show the sigma. Okay. So there's no sigma, you have to go to the T-test. Okay. So go to T-test. And you have statistic here. Yes. We are
sorry. Okay.
50.6. Okay. And the S bar, I think S bar, a sample size and with the mean. Okay. 52.7. They put the S bar with a capital M. That's too big.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a
Yeah. I can
So-
see your mistake is from far you coming to do the choosing the two-tail test or right tail or left tail. You made a mistake there. It's a right tail test only. You have to choose greater than. Okay. You choose greater than and go down to calculate. You should get the p-value 0.19 something.
I have a question about the two
Yeah.
tail, one tail.
Yeah.
I have
Oh, you cannot see my screen, right?
no. But I have a question about the two tail, one tail. I don't understand how.
Concept.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
understand that.
Okay, I will explain to you. When you look at the alternative is the one decide one tail, two tail, or left or right. Okay.
What
See,
decides?
the alternative,
Alternative?
HA is the alternative hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
When you see HA or alternative hypothesis, it shows greater than only one side. So greater than some number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you see greater than, you can write down this is right tail test, just to compare the right hand side.
Yeah, right. If it's less,
If they put a less than, it's a left tail test.
left.
Yeah.
And if it's equal, it's
No, they don't put the equal there. They put a not equal to.
oh, not equal, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the alternative.
Because equal is always for the no hypothesis only, for the HO, okay?
But the not equal would be tail.
Two tail. Because not equal could be greater or could be less than. That's two tail.
Okay, that makes sense. So right here, this is
So you can do again your calculator.
okay. So
do again, I want to try it so you can feel.
okay, and then so I've watched a lot of videos to understand how to know whether to use a t-test or the z-test.
Z-test. You only pay attention to the sigma, the population standard deviation. That's a key.
Only pay attention
To population standard deviation.
Okay.
If that one is, if that population standard deviation sigma is given, then you use Z, okay? If you don't see that, they don't, like this problem say, they take a sample, right? A sample of the size of 15 with the mean 52.7 and a standard deviation of the 9.2. It's all about this sample. It's only simple information only, use T, okay?
Only what information, I'm sorry?
Sample.
Sample?
Yeah,
Sample.
you have to read the statement, then you can feel this, what I'm reading here. Read the statement.
You wish to test the following claim. HA is a significant level of alpha 0.02. You believe the population is normally distributed, but you do not know the standard deviation.
See, you do not know the population standard deviation. Okay?
Okay.
So they give you the hint already. Then continue. You obtain.
You obtain a sample.
Yeah, that's the key. A sample of all this information. You see?
Oh.
That the standard deviation is from the sample. Okay? So if you only have sample information, we have to go the t-test. Okay.
I'm trying to find this paper that I printed out and I can't find it now.
You know?
But I'm trying to find it because it kind of gave me like a chart, but
Yeah.
I think the chart was confusing me. Okay, so sample, t-test.
Yeah.
Population is from the population is a z-test.
Yeah.
If it's standard deviation with the sigma, that's population.
Population. Yeah.
Okay. Now question. Okay, well, I guess I can answer this question with another question because if I do now, like depending if it's two population depends on the question. Like if there's two data sets, then that way I can answer it.
Yeah. And
but let me try.
Yeah, try this one with your calculator. You will feel different. I got it right.
So okay, so t-test.
Yeah, just go to the t-test.
H null would be 50.6. X bar is 52.7.
Correct.
And then standard deviation 9.2.
Correct.
Sample 15. And this is a right tail.
Yeah, this is for you to decide your alternative here, HA. Not equal to, less than, or greater than.
And right tail, it'd be that one?
The last one. Okay. The last one. You have to move to the right.
Oh, I got it now.
You did them for the two tail, right?
I think I did.
When you move over to the right side, you have to hit the enter. Otherwise, the computer will go back again. Okay.
Okay.
Move over to the last and hit the enter.
Enter. Okay, so that makes sense. So greater.
Yeah.
Yes, and then not equal to.
Yeah, I match with a statement the greater. You see? Then go to the calculate. Go down. Enter.
Okay. And then now.
Yeah.
I have a different question. Ready? It's just three.
Yeah, you can show another one. Show the question is the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I screenshot this one. So
this one is test claim. Hold on. It's a claim the proportion of people who own the case is significantly different. You see the keyword is here. Significantly different than something. Okay. So that's a keyword different to tell you alternative. You have to use not equal to. And they say percent, right? So you have to use proportion. Okay, another key, another hint here. Then at the 0.2 significance level. Okay, then we just come to statement, choose the right one. So we know it's a proportion because they use 40%. So 40% change to the decimal will be 40 divided by 100, should it be?
I'm sorry?
When they give you the 40%, you have to change it to the decimal. And what's the decimal of the 40%?
40 or 30? Oh, 0.4?
Yeah. So you will come here to look at the 0.4. And remember, you are not going to look at the mean, right? The
Mhm.
first choice is the mean. You will look up for P. P is the proportion. So you can check the second one to see if it is correct. But remember, I remind you, we have keyword of the different, right? So look at the alternative of the second part here. Is this symbol is different? Look at the second part, second one.
Based on a sample of 500?
No, no, look at this, the null and alternative. You did it right, but I
Yeah.
just start over here.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
you did it correct. You choose this one, right? You choose the
Yeah.
third one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not equal to. So that's correct. Very good. So you answer two-tailed test correct. And the last one is the p-value. You did all correct. How come p-value is wrong?
So, okay.
Well, this one you had to do the one proportion G. Did you do that? One proportion G test.
Let me
Go
see.
to your calculator.
Okay. Okay, so that's my question. I have another question. Okay, why this time one proportion Z test and not just Z test?
Because proportion. Because the problem give you the percent.
Mm,
You read the first statement there. It is significantly different than 40%. When they give the percent, must be proportion. Only proportion you use a percent. The mean doesn't use a percent. The
so
mean
if I do Z test only does mean?
only for mean, average.
Okay, Z test
For the
mean.
mean. G and T is for the mean. And when the problem give you the percent, you do the proportion, one proportion G test or two proportion G test.
When do I have to do Z interval?
And when the problem say, find the confidence interval. If you don't read the confidence interval, you will not use interval.
Okay. You know, I think I get confused because like everywhere I look, you know, like videos, they give me the formula.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to understand the formula,
Okay.
but then they don't teach me how to do it on the calculator.
Really?
So I think where I am messing up is like trying to understand the problem as a formula
Oh.
and not trying to understand it with using my calculator.
That's no good.
No, right.
And there's no video showing you how to use the graphing.
Well, like Khan Academy just does the like I just see
Oh,
videos.
no, don't go to Khan Academy. Go to my video I post on the discussion board. That will be more useful.
They work. Which ones?
For example,
The ones in the modules?
no, not in the module. All the discussions.
Oh yeah. I watch them, but sometimes I want like more, so I look.
Oh, you want more? You just go to YouTube, okay, and type in confidence interval, or you want the hypothesis testing using TI-84. I will pop it out for you.
Yeah, I think that's the problem is that I'm typing understanding confidence interval and then I get videos with formulas.
Yeah.
So
No, you had to type in, use a TI-84. Then we show you.
question. So all of the problems that we get, they're all going to I'm going to be able to do them on the calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense because I'm kind of like stressing and trying to understand formula and how to apply formula to the calculator,
Oh,
I think it's too much.
no,
for
I
my-
stuck with the calculator. And the formula, only 2 formula you need to memorize, I think, or put on the paper, a sheet of paper. It's a sample size. I just told another class, they need to prepare the sample size formula. You know, the sample size formula, maybe I should write it for you here. Sample size formula, you need to write down all those formula. Okay.
Can you show me after I stop sharing?
Yeah. Okay. After you stop sharing, I will show you the sample size formula. Okay.
Okay. Can I finish this problem first?
Yeah, let's finish this one.
Okay, so this one is a 1.
So this one, you can use your calculator. I want you to do together, okay? Because when you use calculator together, you will feel more confident.
Mm-hmm.
You already chose correctly for the null and the alternative hypothesis correctly. You already chose this two-tail test, so you have very good concept. So up to here, you should be able to input the data here into your calculator. But to enter your calculator, you have to recognize the problem all mention about the percent, right? Different than 40%, or based on the sample of 500 people, 39% own the kids. When they use percent, you have to go to one proportion, okay? So you go to the stat and go to the test, okay?
Z-test, right?
No, go to test first and move down to the one proportion G test, number 5. Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
That one shows the proportion, one prop Z test. And proportion only G test. Okay. Proportion always connect with G. So hit enter. Now you can see the screen asks you what's the PO, right? P0.
0.4.
That's 0.4. So put that one in 0.4. And X is a success number. That means how many number of the kids. How many? This is 39% on the kids, right? Among the 500 sample year. So you need to figure out that one out. Find out what's the X. And to find out the X, just take a 500 multiply 0.39. That's the problem say there.
Okay.
Based on a sample of the 500 people, 39% on the kids. That one is for you to find the X success number. So you can type in there, okay?
So it's
Type
1.
in under the X, where you see the X there, type in 500 multiply 0.39.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah. And did you see what's the number there?
195.
That's right. That the X is there.
Oh, that's cool. And N would be 500.
That's right. Just
And
put the
this is
500.
not equal to.
That's right. Just make sure you highlight on that one.
Yeah.
And
Yep. I got it.
You had to enter, okay? Highlight and enter. Then go to the calculator. You should get right now. Yeah.
And I
Your
got, yeah,
your
0.
p-value is 0.6. No, 0.648, right?
0.648.
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Now
Okay.
got it?
I think I have just one more,
Okay, sure.
and then we can move to on.
Sample size formula.
Okay.
All right. P-value. Ooh.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, this is GPA problem. Okay, so they give you some number of the GPA, right? And you know the GPA is a great point in average, right? So you know that's mean, okay, for the mean, not the proportion.
Average, yeah.
Then you just choose correctly, okay. Look like you choose the second one. HO, you choose the mean equals 3.3. That's correct. And that keyword different, you apply to the H1. So that's correct, not equal to. Okay. And so, of course, this is two-tailed test. So you can use your calculator now, ready to go.
My goodness, I've been struggling.
No,
Okay.
no, you can do it.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let
Okay.
me see if I can figure out which one. So since this, okay, based on the sample size, so sample mean, I know I'm gonna do a t-test, right? T-test?
Does problem give you any population? No. Yeah, t-test. Very good.
Okay, so t-test, but just one, so would it be just t-test?
Yeah, t-test.
Right, that's it, right? Just that one?
Yeah.
So that'd be number 2 on the calculator?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead to input the data.
Okay, so null is 3.3, x bar, so x mean would be 3.35, standard deviation 0.08, null n 40, not equal. Okay, so I got 3.15.
Mm-hmm.
Do I?
Right. You got the 3.15 with a lot of decimal, right? 0 point with the e negative 4 power, that means 0.0003 something. And this problem just asks you to round it to 2 decimals, so it's about 0.
Should be 0.00.
Yeah, so it would be the 0.00.
So when
Yeah, you got right. You got right.
but
Yeah.
with this,
That means that 4 decimal, you had to add on.
we gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh-huh. Starting the decimal point and move to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 decimal. So it become the 0.0003.
Okay.
A little bit difference is okay, because sometimes they use a computer software and we use graphing calculator, some difference. But that's very small difference. Important that the first 4 should be same. 0.0003 is the same. That's all fine. Good to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Your mistake just you didn't read that the e negative 4 power. You
Yeah.
apply 4 decimal, okay? Then you should be right.
Okay.
Good. So you're good, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Real quick,
Yeah.
I have a I have a hard time figuring out z-score. Is z-score different from z-table?
Z-score from G-table. Z-score is coming from the G-table.
Okay, so whenever, and I don't know if you have a question, like I could probably find another question, but whenever it asks for the z-score or for the z, I get a little confused.
That's just ask you G equal what? Okay. The G test statistic equal what? And that one you can read from the table, or you can read from your TI-84 calculator. After you done the G test, you should read the G score. After you done the one proportion G test, you will see the G score all there.
Because every time like I look at the z-score, like even when I'm following along on the videos, never the same number.
It would be the same.
No, and I get confused. I'm like, what? How did they get a different number?
Yeah, if you can find someone that can clarify for you.
Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, find something.
Let me see. No, I think. How much time do we have? Okay.
You still have 30 minutes.
Okay.
There's a G there.
Yeah, if it's okay to do, but do I use a z-table on this one?
You don't need a G table. If you have TI-84, you're wonderful. You have best tool to help you to get all this number. You don't need a G table.
Because sometimes I don't know if it was on the test or on the homework that asked to get the
Critical value?
yes.
Yeah.
That because critical value is different from critical level or confidence level.
Yeah, different.
Because I have it written down. Confidence
Oh,
to Z-score, like all the common.
oh, very good. You wrote down everything we need to apply. Yeah. That's a
But
that's a G score
yeah,
corresponding to confidence level.
so critical Z-score, is that the same as the confidence interval?
Confidence interval is providing from which number, comma, to which number. That's an interval, right?
Yeah.
And G score is just boundary, critical value, bounding not the interval to show us from which number to which number.
So are they the same thing?
No.
Oh,
Confidence interval is the interval. It's from 2 to 7. We're including our true mean, something like that. We give you one interval, one range of the number. And the critical value is a boundary. If you use the 90% confidence, so your boundary will be 1.645 to bounding that interval here. So you can write down critical value is like a boundary.
boundary.
Mm-hmm. An interval is an estimation of the population mean or proportion mean. It will give you a range of the numbers.
Estimate of population mean?
Population mean or population proportion.
Okay.
No, you got right.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, so and confidence interval. So what's a critical Z-score?
Depend on what's your confidence level. If you want a 90%, you already wrote down will be 1.645. If you want a 95% of the confidence, will be 1.96. If you want a 99%, will be 2.575.
You see, okay, I put 2.75,
575.
right. And then when I was trying to do a problem,
No,
it was 2.576. And I said,
that's okay. That's just rounding.
oh,
Some people, they round the more decimal up to the 2.576. But even use 2.575 or 2.576, we come out the same answer. I mean, the difference will be one decimal at the end, but the result for us to decide rejection or not rejection, same thing, because only the last decimal difference only.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
Could we solve this one?
Yeah,
Is that
sure. Yeah, you can solve this one.
okay?
Just, use your graphing calculator.
Okay, you see, and before I would go on paper and try to do it on paper.
Oh, no, waste your time. Get your calculator ready to go. Okay.
Okay.
They say 8%, right? So you have to do what?
Okay, so it is believed that the nearsighted affect 8% of children in a random sample of 194 children, 91 are nearsighted. So I know for B, what proportion of children, so you just do 21 divided by 194.
Yeah. You just take a 21. That's fine. Very good. 21 divided by total sample 194. That's why you got right. 0.1082. Okay. That's correct. They want a 4 decimal. So that's right. Then go to the to do the G test now.
Okay.
Remember, one proportion G test.
Okay, how do I know it's one proportion?
Because of P, did you see the problem said P all the way there? HO, HA to the P, not the mu. Mu is the mean. And then they give you the P there.
Right. So, but how do you, okay, so it's a proportion, right? Because Z test, but one.
Proportion G test, they are together as one. Proportion test, right? The name is one proportion G test together.
Oh, your camera fell down.
Yeah.
A little. Oh, okay, I couldn't see you.
Oh, you cannot see me?
A little bit. I can see your head now.
Okay. I think my pen falling down.
Okay, so I know it's one proportion because it's just giving us one.
Yeah, one case there only, one sample of the children, children nearsighted problem only. They
Okay.
didn't give us another group for the sample. Usually, if the two sample, they will say sample one doing this, sample two doing this, right? It's only one. A random sample of the 194 children. That's all. Right?
Okay, so one proportion z-test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then so okay, so 0.08, and then x would be given the standard error of a sample proportion. Oh wait,
So your PO, did you P0? Did you put the 0.08?
yes.
Yes. And
Okay.
your X success number is given there on the first sentence there. Read again the first sentence on the top.
It is believed that nearsighted affects about 8% of children in a random sample of 194, 21 or near 21?
Yeah, 21. This form already give you 21. You don't need to multiply.
Okay.
Another form, we have to take a sample size and multiply, right? Multiply percent. But this one already give to you. So you just use it, 21.
21 and then 194.
That's right.
Not equal.
Uh-huh.
Z is 1.45.
And you choose a two tail or one tail.
I choose equal, not equal.
Not equal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
uh,
Yeah. I think it's not equal. You have to read the sentence to see. Did they say greater or less than? They didn't say anything, right? So you didn't say anything, you use another equal to. Then go to the calculate. Then you are done. The P value, you have to put the G value. The G score is 1.45, right? Round
okay.
up to decimal.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't input the data. You didn't type in.
No, I think I screenshot this before.
Oh, you did a screenshot. So the G you can write down, then you do later. So G score should be 1.45, right?
Question. But so it says given the standard error of sample proportion, does that matter? Like, do I need that information?
No,
No.
you don't need that. When you use a calculator, you don't need that.
Oh, okay.
Just continue reading. What did they ask you? It's asking you the G equal what? That's all.
That's it?
And your G is 1.45. Then P value is 0.14699. But you had to round it to 4 decimals, so it should be 0.1470. Right?
point one.
0.1470. Because 4 decimal, right?
Yeah.
And another is 9. The fifth decimal is 9. So you have to go up 8 into the 9, become the 0, and go up.
So I don't have to worry about standard error.
No, you don't need.
Oh. Okay.
You don't need that. Then they just additional information to give to you only.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm stressing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, this makes me
Makes
feel
sense
better.
now, right?
Yeah, it makes me feel better. I understand it more. Okay, going back to what you said about two formulas that I need to know. You said,
Yeah, you need this formula write down on your page of the notes to take it to the exam time. Okay. So I'm going to write on the whiteboard so you can see it. Yeah. So I need do the sharing with the whiteboard now. So the whiteboard is here. Share. Okay.
Oh, here, I finally found it. This is what I was using to determine which test.
Okay, good.
There
Yeah,
you go.
organize the chart. That's organize your thought and
Yeah.
help you better. Okay, I'm going to type here for the sample size. Okay. If you the problem said we try to estimate population mean, but before we conducting the survey, we want to predetermine the sample size. So what the sample size we should use? Then you use this formula here. The keyword is mean. You try to estimate the population mean. Okay. Then use the N, and then they will say, for estimate the mean, they will tell you how many percent of the confidence level. So you will apply here to put in, N will be G. G is critical value. And you know critical value, they always like to put the alpha, right? Alpha divided by 2, right? Let's just say significance level split into the 2 parts as a boundary. So the G is a critical value, okay? Then you need to take this number to multiply with sigma, with sigma, that Greek, right? You know how to write, right?
Mhm.
Sigma.
Little O with the loop.
Yeah, like all in this tail go up there. Okay. G critical value times the sigma and divided by margin of the error. Okay. I like to use just E for the error. That way, simple. Then you need to take the whole thing, go to the square power, go to square.
Mm.
That would be the formula for me. Then. And I know for you, some exercise, population mean sigma, population standard deviation, sigma is not given. And they provide a simple standard deviation. Then you can replace that as small x standard deviation as well.
E stands for what?
Error.
Error? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I have this written down somewhere.
Good.
Um,
Then for estimating the population, the proportion, right? Proportion. If the problem mentions some percent, everywhere percent, then it's a proportion. So a proportion problem, we use the notation of the small p to estimate population proportion p. Then use a sample size. Then use then use n equal parenthesis g is alpha divided by 2 critical value and multiply. Oh, wait a moment. Yeah, this one you don't need really multiply with that. Divide by marginal error. And the whole thing go to the square power. Then after this, you decide, okay? You are going to multiply 0.25. If p hat is unknown, some problem didn't give you any prior knowledge about the proportion at all for some survey, right? Like
Right.
they didn't mention anything, okay? Like we have one problem here. Some student just asked me from the review exercise. The article talking about the 99% of the confidence, but they didn't say anything about in the past how many percent. Then you use the 0.25. Okay.
Okay.
And the 0.25, we are taking the 0.5 times 0.5. Okay. Assume actually.
And then p hat is calculated by it's the sample proportion.
Yeah.
So if I don't have the sample proportion, it's x divided by n.
Yeah, that's right. If that one is given, they give you the p hat, you can replace p hat there. If not, you have to take a p hat as a 0.5. That's why 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. Okay.
If p hat is unknown.
Actually, I should have put it here. P hat. Okay. And multiply 1 minus p hat. This is the original formula.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture to make sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Also, if sigma is unknown, do sometimes we use 0.52 or no?
No. Sigma is for the mean. Sigma is for the mean. That's a different formula.
No. But I'm saying if sigma in the equation, do we use 0.5 if we don't know sigma? No.
Oh, if this no sigma should be given, and or not given. If given, you will use if sigma is given, you will plug in here for the mean formula.
Okay.
If sigma is not given, you will use a simple standard deviation, small x. Probably provide out a simple standard deviation. And you just use a simple one. Okay. Your population standard deviation sigma is given, we have to use it for the mean. The first one is for the mean.
Yeah.
First one here is for the mean.
Okay.
And the second one is for proportion. And proportion formula depend, right? It's a critical value. Actually, critical value. I put the 8 divided by 2, very complicated. It's a z critical value. Okay. Actually, just critical value divided by marginal error. Parenthesis, go to the square power and multiply. I think I would prefer using this symbol better. Multiply p hat, then multiply 1 minus p hat. That's the original formula. Okay. If p hat is unknown, if p hat is given, you just plug in here, plug in there, take 1 minus p hat. Okay. If p hat is unknown, you have to assume 50% of the chance, whatever happened before. That's the common rule we use in the real world. That's why some formula, if p hat is unknown, they will just, some book will just tell you, oh, you can just use this formula here. They'll just tell you, you can just use the same formula as this one. Okay, Control C, Control V, but you just multiply 0.25. Some book only show that, only show you multiply 0.25. They didn't explain why, but why we use 0.25 is because we just assume that the p hat is 50%, 50%.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know. We just use a 50-50. Will happen, 50% will not happen. So multiply together, 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. That's explain why the formula is 0.25. Because something is unknown.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
you got these two formulas important you need to write down, okay, on your page of the note, because our final exam will ask you this kind of problem.
And those are the only two formulas I need to know?
For the sample formula, sample size formula.
Sample
And the other formula, what I remember is these two, sample formula, sample size formula. And look like others. Oh, sample proportion. You know how to find the sample proportion, right? Today you already answered me. You take x divided by n, get the sample proportion, right?
I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And maybe there's one more formula here. We call full, full, your full sample proportion.
Okay.
This one is equal to, you need to use x1 plus x2 divided by n1 plus n2. Actually, very similar to the sample proportion. This one is for the chapter 10. But you're working with the two proportion, right? If you have two proportion and you want to estimate sample proportion, we call pool, like mix together, right? S1 plus S2 over N1 plus N2. Just mix together.
This one, yes.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere. I need to condense my notes. I
You
have
have to, yeah, you need to sit down and try to put all together and put it together.
I think I have all over the place because I was writing down
When you are studying,
all the formulas.
no, you need to sit down this weekend and organize from chapter, right? Chapter 7, no, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, 11, 12, 13. Organize them, put that together, put it in order. Then you will be okay. You have very good foundation, I can see from you.
I'm trying. I didn't do well on the midterm, so I'm a little scared of the final.
Then-
I
so we put this way, you will be okay. Yeah.
Okay. So right now I took test 3. I have
Oh,
I have hold on. I think I have one more try.
okay, you can try some of the time. Yeah.
Okay. And then I know last week's discussion board,
Oh,
we were able to get 10 points extra if we visited the
yeah,
math.
tutoring.
I did that. Is that going to be applied to final or?
That's the way apply to your score. Yeah, it's part of score.
Okay, yeah, because I did it, but I didn't. My response was I didn't have a good experience with who I had got.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I tried. I think it made me more confused.
I'll make more confused. Sometimes it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, so does that still count? I was wondering.
Just explain there, then
I did.
honestly.
I did.
Okay, just say, my experience with this student was not successful. I could even give me more confused. You
Yeah.
can do like that. That's okay.
Okay.
We just need the input from the students.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. It was, yeah,
That's okay. Not everyone meet the right one.
yeah. And
That's
okay, so
okay.
for test 3, I have a 38.3. So the ones that I showed you that I did but got wrong, those are
Oh.
the ones that I still had questioned because I was already try number 2. And I was like,
Oh.
why am I not getting this?
Oh, I see. And you
Mhm.
didn't bring another question here?
I did. We did it. We did
Oh,
all
we did already. Oh, very good. Then now you try again. You should get 100%, right?
yeah. Hopefully. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then for the final,
Hmm.
we get the same kind of worksheet we got for the midterm.
Oh yeah, it's available already on the discussion board. It's there.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think I let me double check. Okay. Let me go to the website. I think I did. Oh, I hope it's not another class.
Yeah, week 8.
Yeah, check the week 8. Okay.
Discussion and final review.
Right, that
Okay.
one. I
Okay.
posted this morning. Yeah.
Oh, this morning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure I do that. Maybe if I have questions, if I have any questions, can we meet next Wednesday before the
Oh,
final?
yeah, of course. The next Wednesday, students come to see me. So
Okay.
next Wednesday will be the good time when you have question from the reviews. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, or your test 4. Any questions? You should just share the screen like this. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
there already, and some already post their work. You see?
Oh, I see that. 3 people.
3
Wow.
people. Wow, 3.
I'm
One.
still stuck on chapter 10.
That's okay. You still have time. 10, 11, 12, 13. You still have time.
Yeah, I have time. Thankfully the chi-square, I did that. It was really easy. I got that really
Yeah,
fast.
chi-square test is easy. If
Yeah.
you learn how to set down the matrix,
Yeah.
easy.
So easy. So I think I'll be good for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
coming
thank
in.
you so much for taking the time.
Welcome.
I feel better now, and I'm gonna take the test again.
Yeah,
And then
test again. You should do better tonight.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Okay. Have a good night,
Thank
Professor.
you.